Okay, welcome back to another video. In this one, I wanted to kind of do a follow-up to the last video I did where I discussed some features that people have wanted to see within Minecraft and basically why I think some of them are good, some of them are bad, etc. Right? I was kind of just bringing to the spotlight certain features and what I thought of them, basically. So, in the comments of this one, I got a comment from a regular viewer and subscriber, and basically he gave 3 sort of ideas, and then I've also got a few extra ideas to kind of bring up, and that'll be this video. So, first idea he brought in was to do with villagers, and basically, instead of like leveling them up, you go and get them like certain items, or I guess just kind of complete a certain task for them. I don't think he necessarily outright said that, but that was kind of what I was getting at in the last video, is the idea of, like, instead of leveling up a villager and, like, you know, just being able to, like, farm them in many ways, I much prefer the idea of, like, a villager saying to you, like, hey, you can go get this, right, for me. Like, if you can go and get, I don't know, I'm trying to think of, like, a good example here. Like, go and get me 5 iron, and in return, I'll give you an emerald, maybe, right? That's, like, a pretty good trade-off, because it's pretty easy to get iron, but not easy to get emeralds, and so, hey, good trade, but then you don't get to necessarily repeat that, right? It's not like something where you can just keep doing that and completely farm off of that. Instead, you get, like, different tasks each time, and that's also depending on the profession of the villager, right? So, like, you could get someone who wants you to get a certain crop because they're a farmer, and then you get that crop for them, and they make something off of that, or give you something off of that, maybe extra food, I don't know. This is a really frustrating one. There we go. Yeah, maybe you do something like that. But yeah, I think the general gist of it is just being able to not have repetitiveness to what villagers want you to do. And as well as that, I just think being able to, like, have tasks rather than just items, I think is a really cool idea. Like, to me, I think the idea of, like, a villager telling you, like, okay, I've got a blank map, can you just go around, explore, fill that map out for me, and in return you get, I don't know, like, maybe emeralds, anything, right? Like, a number of different things you could get from that. Ultimately, I don't know exactly what I would want, necessarily, but, like, I just think the overall idea of it is there, in that, like, just having a variety of tasks and things to go and collect for villagers, I think is the general gist of what the idea is. Now, the next thing this subscriber suggested was the idea of being able to actually place things down like a cake in Minecraft. So, like, being able to place down different foods, items, anything like that, like discs or anything like that. And I like this idea, but again, I think it sort of falls into a similar sort of category as what I mentioned in the last video about having tables, chairs, anything like that in the game. I think the problem is that a lot of what Minecraft is about is being creative, right? And, you know, kind of using your imagination a bit. Would placing down some things like that, would that limit creativity? I wouldn't say it would limit it, but I certainly think it would, I don't know, in some ways just, it wouldn't be the same in some ways, I guess. But I don't know. I don't hate the idea. I don't love it. It's one of those things where it's just like, I think the basic idea of what this could be is the idea of adding in an item frame, but instead of an item frame, it's like an item plate or something like that, like a display plate where you could place it on a block and it would be like, and that block would essentially be like a table, right? Like, I think that is a very cool and interesting idea, but maybe not just placing it down, right? Like, I think the idea of, like, an item frame or item plate, as it is, I just lost that, but whatever. I think that is a pretty cool idea, and one which I wouldn't mind seeing. I might take a while to find another game, so I might just hop into whatever this is. But yeah, that's another like little idea, is the idea of like an item plate or anything like that. That isn't straight up what the subscriber said, but just my interpretation of it and what I would kind of like to see of that. Right, sorry about that. The final thing they would like to see was about basically adding another, instead of like adding another dimension, as was, again, I said, oh, okay, I'm gonna get another game, cool. I mentioned that I wouldn't be exactly wanting to see that, but it's something that people have said before. He basically mentioned the idea of adding another biome to the end. Now, this is something which I have said several times. I feel like the end needs another update, right? Like, to kind of bring it in line with where the Nether's at, right? Is that the Nether has like a lot of cool biomes. It's got like a lot of flavor to it now, the Nether, right? It's not like the old Nether where you kind of just went in and just like, hey, fire and mobs and just not much else. Now there's like a lot of flavor to what the Nether is, and I think the end kind of needs that, right? I don't know exactly what they would necessarily add, because obviously like there are end cities, there are like different things to it, but I would just like to see a little bit more. And I think a lot of people are probably with me on that, in that it's become an increasingly popular thing to say, is the idea of like wanting an end update, basically. And that is like the basis of what was said by the subscriber. I wanted to expand on this a little bit in terms of just, I think a big thing with Minecraft in terms of things they could add is basically the idea of adding additional biomes to even just the overworld, right? And they continue to do this, and obviously there comes a point where like there is, in many ways, maybe not too many biomes, but like it's just like it becomes overwhelming, right? Like no one's gonna know every single biome and everything like that, right? People just want old Minecraft, right? And that's fine in a sense. Like I've always said that with old Minecraft, you can just go back to old Minecraft on the launcher and not really have to care about anything. But if you're someone who really is worried about the idea of like having too many biomes or anything like that, I hear you, but I do just think adding more is never a bad thing. In Minecraft, anyway, because you're not going to have to remove anything to add, basically. So, adding, like, more and more just random little biomes that maybe are very niche, but, like, not necessarily, like, I don't know, like, they're not, like, needed as such, they're just good scenery or anything like that. And finding them can be an actual exciting thing. So I think finding different biomes is a genuinely exciting thing to do, right? Is finding the different biomes within Minecraft. Is going around your world, finding different ones, and basically just being like, hey, look, it's a new one, I can get a block from here, I can get this from here, I can get this item, blah, blah, blah. I think it's very cool. I've also said several times in the past that I personally would like to see more, like, I guess boss fights, you could call them, or just mini-bosses. Like, you know, maybe a desert temple, maybe all of that, right? Like a jungle temple as well. Like, just adding in, like, some sort of mini-boss room into every single one, I think could be a pretty cool thing. I've said in the past how much I love the addition of trial chambers, right? Is that they have very much been a good addition to the game in that, you know, there's, like, waves of, like, mobs that you fight, and you can get a lot of good loot from them. I think a big thing for me that makes single-player Minecraft actually interesting is fighting mobs, right? And, like, having to navigate past the mobs. Because without it, it's like you're just building, and I think that's fine. Obviously, some people do just enjoy building, and because of the fact I'm not very good at building, I enjoy the sort of exploration, survival aspect of it. And so that's where I really would like to see, like, more of that added. So, basically, that is the general gist of the things that I would like to see added, and then what I've seen a subscriber would like to see added. In terms of what you might want to see like, if anyone has anything else to further add to this, or you maybe disagree with anything, or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment. I might make another video on this at some point in the future. But for now, I think that that's enough, you know, yapping about things that people want to see added to the game. So I will leave this here. Albeit I'm not done with parkour, so I am just going to keep on playing parkour and yapping about random things. So this isn't the end of the video just yet, you will notice. But, yeah, like, in the next video, I do plan on making a video about things that I actually like about current Minecraft. Things that I have seen added and I genuinely think have been incredible additions. So that's the next video, by the way, if you are wondering. Is basically just additions to Minecraft that I really appreciate, right? And I have really liked. You might be able to work them out based off of things that I've said in this video or in the past, anything like that. But, I am doing awful, so this might be the end of the video. I don't know when that's going to come, but, I kind of want to just show off this full parkour, even though I'm terrible at it. Just so that the video comes to a pretty conclusive ending. Oh my god. Bro. I promise I'm not doing bad on purpose. I am just that bad. Okay, cool, right. That is everything, like I say. That was things that I would like to see added, that's things that you would like to see added as well. You, the viewer, you! Okay, anyway, bye.